I just bought a 2018 Huracan from the auction. It's being hit in the front, not the back this time. So the fronts are usually easier to fix because there's no engine I gotta pull out. It's just radiators, front trunk tub, and the headlights on it. I know this car was supercharged before at some point because I ended up Googling the VIN and I found it. And I believe it was a one owner, local British Columbia car in Canada. In Vancouver, and it had a supercharger on it, VF supercharger. It doesn't run right now, and it was a front end collision, so I'm not sure what they did. I'm gonna have to investigate and see why it doesn't run and if everything was put back properly. But let me go ahead and show you guys the car. (2018) Huracan. So the main damage on this car is the front over here, and I believe it's both sides are damaged. And let me just lift this up, see what it looks like underneath. So the full frame in the front, this is all bent over here. This is cut up. So right off the bat, I'm gonna have to replace the front frame on this car because I can't really pull this frame. It's because it's aluminum and it's gonna get weak, and it could also crack and break. And I believe the suspension is also messed up. This tie rod is really bent up over here, and all the tires are flat. I have the fenders for it, but I believe the auction took them off because I believe they were damaged, just to see what the damage was underneath when it went through the auction. Let me see. Thankfully the windshield is not cracked, so I'm not gonna have to replace the windshield on it. The side skirts look okay. The doors look like they don't have any damage from what I can see. The glass is okay too. That's okay too. Just want to assess basically the whole car and see what's going to have to be done. Thank God I don't have to do any rear quarter work or back work or anything like that this time. I believe the whole car has a paint protection film on it. It is PPF. Yeah, I could definitely feel it. So probably a good cleanup on this and it'll look great. Let's take a look at inside. It doesn't have a battery, I believe, so I will have no power on it. Let me see. Yeah, cars don't have a battery on it. So I know this car doesn't run. Looks like someone bypassed the pyro fuse already to try to make it run. Let me see. Yeah, it looks like it's bypassed. So this wire is supposed to be connected to this, but they kind of just left this dangling over here, connected directly to this. So I don't think the car runs, so I'm gonna have to see, try to get it started before I do anything else, because I don't want to fix a car that has a seized engine, because that's going to be a lot more work. So let's take a look at the interior. I don't think any airbags are popped off. Green seat belts, carbon, and some nice carbon accents. The other one had a red interior, the one I just did. Looks like the seat belt is locked. Looks like it was probably locked in the crash position. Someone's probably wearing the seat belt when they crashed. So yeah, they're probably wearing the seat belt. See what else is in here. Nice carbon paddle shifters. Nice interior on this. Let's take a look at the other side. No, actually, I'm wrong. I believe there was one airbag that was blown, and it was this guy right here. So I'm gonna have to try to either get this fixed or replace the seat or replace the airbag. And yeah, just some trims and panels over here. I think I have this one right here. Yeah, I don't want to buy that. Okay, yeah, that's good. That's over there. So just one airbag is being blown, which is not bad. I'm gonna have to just fix that. Otherwise, it looks like everything else lines up on this side too. Doesn't look like anything is damaged on this side. The mirror. Actually, yeah, this glass is broken here. And there's some damage here as well. And yeah, there's more damage. It's all taped up, so I'm gonna have to replace this complete mirror assembly. Not a big deal. Just a mirror, as long as this is not damaged. The A pillar here. Is there any suspension damage here? Yeah, this is all ripped and torn off, so I'm gonna have to probably cut from all of it back there, replace the full entire front frame on this one. At least there's no engine to pull out. Should be a lot easier. Gonna have to get all the radiators, bumper, headlights. I don't have headlights for it. I believe they were all damaged. Look at the brakes. Yeah, rotors are definitely done. I don't think these will clear up by driving around. So from what I know, this engine doesn't run, and from also what I know about this car is it used to have a supercharger on it. So I believe it had a VF supercharger on it right before I went to the auction. After it crashed, I believe they reinstalled the stock manifold. And from what I can see is they were in a rush doing it because none of these hoses are connected and they're all just kind of just laying around like that. And there's like items broken here. This is like the breather valve is supposed to be on over here. That's not there. The covers are all missing. And I believe there's quite a few things missing. The car doesn't run right now. Obviously there's no coolant in it because the coolant, the front radiators are missing and they were damaged. And I think I'm gonna remove this intake manifold just to make sure that they reinstall it before I try to start it up, because I don't know if they connected the injectors properly or anything like that. Also, I know this car previously had an exhaust on it as well, and I'm also missing the grill, so they kept the grill off it. And wherever the car was, they also stole the rear view camera off it as well, because this is where the camera sits. So from what I can see, whichever exhaust they put on there, obviously reinstalled a broken, damaged muffler on it. But I'm gonna get rid of this whole guy here. It takes up too much room. It's way too big. It clears up weight as well. So I'm gonna replace this guy over here. But first I'm gonna take off that manifold. I want to try to get the car at least running position. I'm gonna get it started up because there is no engine damage. All the damage was in the front. So I just want to make sure that there's nothing else here. So I'm going to be testing everything. I'm going to be testing the fuel, all the power, make sure all the relays are there. I'm going to have to take this brace off. But I'm going to be videoing that as well, me going into great detail working on this car. Just hopefully this is not damaged either, because this engine cover here with the glass is extremely expensive. So just want to make sure there's no damage. I believe this is just the paint protection film on it. It could all get cleaned up. Yeah, thankfully the glass is not cracked and that's not broken. Thankfully everything does line up here, these kind of places. Just needs a good cleanup. This tire looks like it does have air on it, but I'm most likely gonna replace all these tires anyway. There. Oh look, and this one's also holding air, which is not bad. Decent tread. I'm gonna see the year rating on this tires to see. Yeah, you know what? No, this tire is definitely not good. It has a gouge in it, and they're old, 2018. So these gotta go. These are definitely not safe. Along with the brakes, as well. The brakes are the pad. The pad looks okay, but yeah, definitely have to get brakes and tires. I'm gonna make sure the wheels are okay too, in good condition. So you can see this side. Yeah, this side is completely flat. I don't know if the rim is broken or if it's just a tire that's flat. Let's take a look at this side as well. Yeah, this side has flat tire too. I don't know. Well, we're gonna try to pump it up. I'm gonna try to get the car running, pump these tires up, see if the car does move on its own. If it does move on its own, then I'm gonna basically pull it in, chop the front frame off, buy another frame, buy a whole new front clip, and install a whole new front clip and get the car running. Fix the seat, detail it. This is a plan with this one. Here's just a better shot for you guys to see. The only thing that concerned me, says lost type mechanical, but obviously this is body damage, it's not mechanical. And the engine's in the back and it was hit in the front. So I'm not sure why that is. I'm gonna have to see. Hopefully the engine is good. It's 2018 Huracan. So let's take a deeper look at the engine, what's going on. This is the way this clip is supposed to look, but it looks like they just kind of shoved a hose in there to make it look like that is connected. But realistically, it's broken. I'm pretty sure this is not even supposed to go where it's supposed to go. So I gotta see where this is going down to. Can't really see at the moment. And hose is missing here. So before I even try to start it, I could see that the fuel line is not even connected to this. So I gotta see what's going on with it. These vacuum hoses are not connected either. This is where the fuel line comes from. So the fuel filter, yeah, it is like nothing is connected here. I gotta try to get a hose first from here and connect it to the fuel line that's over here. But before I do any of this, I'm gonna just try to really take a close look at the car, because I do have to pull this intake manifold off, and I just see a bunch of disconnected connectors, spider webs. I don't know if there's any mice in there because it's been sitting for a while. So I'm just gonna take a quicker, closer look. I believe whoever did this was in a rush to basically get this done. I think the O2 sensors are missing as well. There's no O2 sensors there. I'm gonna have to buy some O2 sensors. There's also wires touching the exhaust there completely. So I'm not sure what's happening with this engine or how much I'm gonna have to do. Also found this random hose here. This doesn't even belong to the car. Anyway, I'm gonna pull the air boxes off, maybe the oil tank, pull off the X-brace, intake manifold, and just see where we are, because I'm seeing a lot of random cut wires. Oh, that's for the O2 sensor. I don't understand why they'd be cut. But anyway, let's see what I got myself into. So I got the braces off. Next step up, I'm gonna remove these air boxes. Some like Torx 30 bolts that go around here. Looks like some are missing down there, over there. Not a big deal. Air boxes, and then see what it looks like underneath that, and then moving on to the intake manifold. So I was just taking out one of the intake manifold bolts, and that one unfortunately is completely rounded off inside, so I can't put my bit on it over here. So whoever used it last used the wrong socket on it, or they over tightened it, but I think I'm gonna probably call it here. So I decided to bring the car inside because it was getting really dark outside, and I could basically see a lot better what I'm doing on the car. So the plan is I'm going to take off the back deck cover. It's going to give me a lot more room and access to get the intake manifold off and to see what's going on with this engine. Okay. Let's just put it on the side. I get all this room to work with now without this being in the way. What the hell? Oh no. That doesn't make sense. Are you kidding me? What? Oh, there's no way. No, there's no way. Oh. Okay, so I've just discovered that this car has a Lamborghini Gallardo engine in it, and it's not a Huracan engine. And it just doesn't make sense to me. How do I know this? Let me show you guys. So this is a Gallardo engine. Looks like it's mated to a Huracan transmission. How do I know this? If you guys look down there, see if I get my light pointed right. Right down there, let me get a zoom. Right there. That right down there is where the power steering pump sits for the Gallardo. The Huracan doesn't have a power steering pump. It's electric steering. The Gallardo does have a power steering pump that's driven by the gear on the actual engine. It sits on it. So this is unfortunately a Gallardo engine. I knew this, like the way this is angled out here, this is also Gallardo. And it's not Huracan. It just changes everything now. So someone went ahead and they put a Gallardo engine in here. I'm not sure why. But the more I look at it, everything is Gallardo. I mean, the headers, the catalytic converters, the muffler over here, everything is Gallardo. The only thing I did notice, they went ahead and put Huracan wiring harness and fuse boxes on. I don't know if the ECUs are Huracan as well. I'm going to have to check that out. But I'm not sure why they took it. Maybe they put like a blown or a seized Gallardo engine in here. So now this just created a whole another world of work for me, right? So this is not going to be good, guys. Just to show that this is a Huracan wiring harness. So if you look at this, the date does say 2017, 2018. So this is a 2018 car. So engine harness is a Huracan, but it's a Gallardo LP engine. So technically it is the same engine. The differences are, I believe, the intake manifold areas and where the injectors are also different. and where the power steering pump is different. The headers are different. There's a few differences. I could probably still make this engine work, but I have to see even if it spins or not, or if this is a bad engine. If we come around this side and looking through here, we could see the amount of dirt and gunk. Like you could just see, like this engine's been sitting around for a long time. There's a lot of dust and dirt built up everywhere. This engine, my guess is probably not good. The only way to test it, I have to take off all these ignition coils. I have to scope it out, put a camera in there and see if all the pistons are good. None of them are turned upside down, so there's scratches in the sidewall. I also have to see if this engine even spins. So this created a lot more work for me to do now. I have to basically look at the engine, fully diagnose it and see if it even spins, if the cylinders are good, if basically the compression is good. I don't even know what they did. The other big thing is the major difference between a Huracan and Gallardo obviously is the transmission. The Huracan has a dual mass flywheel versus a Gallardo that has a single clutch. So the only way I can check that out if I remove the actual starter and see through that hole if there's a dual mass flywheel in there and if it's actually bolted on or not. And then from that, I could also give it power to the starter and see if the engine wants to spin. But before I do all that, I'm gonna have to remove the ignition coils. And then most likely, I'm probably gonna remove the whole engine just to make sure like if it's even put in properly. So this is a lot more work. I wasn't expecting this. I was a little bit weary thinking of why they wrote Lost Time Mechanical, but I think I'm starting to understand now. So I have to get to the starter, which is located right over there. I'm gonna have to try to remove that. In order to remove that, I have to remove the oil tank and a couple of other things. And then hopefully I can see through that hole and see if the actual dual mass flywheel is there that connects to the transmission. Yeah, these are all Gallardo. The pipes are smaller here. I know this because the Huracan catalytic converters look different than this. They don't look like this. And this is also a Huracan muffler here as well. Because whoever did this swap did it in a hurry because they didn't connect anything properly. This is where the fuel line goes. It goes around here, it loops. It connects here this way. It's not supposed to go this way. This way is Gallardo, but this way is Huracan. Yeah, no wonder they didn't attach anything and they shoved random hoses. So I'm just kind of really disappointed as to how people would like scam other people like this, because if this car went to another person, he was just really excited to get his first Lamborghini and just kind of only fix the front end, hoping to have like a really good engine on it, but then they get screwed over with this stuff. So this is not good. Like I wouldn't really personally do this, or actually not really. I'm gonna say actually I would never do this to anybody. Screwing someone over like this is a big no-no, right? And it's I gotta say I'm pretty disappointed, but you know, it's just another obstacle we gotta get over, and I'm sure I can get this thing running in no time as well. Just a little bit of more work. But thanks for watching, guys. This will be the end of part 1. I'm gonna call it here. Stay tuned. I'm gonna continue on with this project. Thanks, guys. See you next time.